Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. And today I'm going to feature the Delicate Dahlias stamp set, photopolymer set with distinctive features on it. So we get this really lovely stamped image, and we've got an outline to go with it and some matching leaves and some really nice sentiments. So this is a full stamp set which is available for free during the sale-a-bration event, which runs right up until the end of September. So these sale-a-bration items you can earn when you place a qualifying order. This particular stamp set is on page 14 and 15 of the sale-a-bration brochure. If you don't have the new mini catalogue or a catalogue at all, in fact, or indeed the sale-a-bration leaflet, do let me know if you would like one in hard copy. I can send them out to those of you in the UK, or you can pop along to the website and look at the shop, and there are links directly to sale-a-brations. This is Delicate Dahlias, however you want to pronounce it. There some lovely ideas in the actual brochure itself on how to make a few cards there. So there's like 5 ideas just in the booklet right there. Okay, so today though I'm going to show you how to do the heat emboss resist technique. Okay, so we've got a really nice subtle look to this card with the pop of colour in the card base. This is a Calypso Coral card base, and I've used Bumblebee and Calypso Coral to ink over the top of some heat embossed line images there. Okay, so very simple use of this particular set that you can get for free with a £90 order from the Stampin' Up store. Okay, so in the usual form, we're going to switch up the colours. So I did a quick look on a popular search engine to see what colours Dahlias came in, and basically anything goes, it would appear. There's a lot of orangey red ones, but I did come across some blue ones, and I like blue, so we'll do a blue version for this card. So I've opted for Balmy Blue as the base, and I've got some layers here with Night of Navy instead of the black on the other one. Okay, so that just layers up nicely on there. So this is 3 3/4 by 5.5, I think. Yep, that's right. And then the basic white layer, I've just taken off an extra 1/8 of an inch just to give us that really skinny border along the back there. Okay, so we'll put those to one side for now, and then the other thing I've got is just a 1/2 inch strip of basic white just to do our sentiment in a little while. So I'm going to bring across some scrap paper, just some old sort of grid paper there. Already got the large outline dahlia mounted there with I've actually squeezed it onto a D block. It's a bit big for a D block, but managed to get away with it. Really, ideally, you'd need an E block or your Stamparatus tool to use this. But I'm cheating. So, stamping with Versamark ink. This is a clear, sticky ink. Takes a little longer to dry, which is good because it means we can do all our stamping and it will still be tacky to catch our embossing powder. Okay, so good light tapping over the ink pad with that clear sticky ink. Just put one sort of in that mark there from something, I don't know what that's come from. The sort of above centre to the right, and just put this one in sort of diagonally down from it. Okay, so that's what we've got, and you can't see anything at all on there. Just putting that on my stamping chamois, giving it a quick wipe because this sticky ink we want to get off our stamp as soon as possible. So you may be able to catch that image reflecting in there. but all will be revealed when we start to do our embossing. So I'm just going to bring in a tray. You can use a piece of paper folded in half or whatever, anything you like to catch the powder. Just going to hold it onto on a corner where it's not going to get in the way, and just sprinkle some powder over the top of that. I've just happened to have mine in a larger tub just for ease of application, really. Sprinkle it over the top and just knock off any that seems to be stuck anywhere, but I think that's going to look absolutely fine. So we can just pop this away now. Tip it back in the tub. You don't waste all of that, it just all goes back in. So a pot of embossing powder, so a regular pot of embossing powder would look like this. This is some white powder, so it's normally in a little pot like that, but I bought a few and just put them into a larger container just so that I've got it. So the next thing we're going to do is heat this with a heat tool. So this is my heat tool here, heat gun with 2 speeds. Okay, so I'm going to warm the back, then flip to the front, and hopefully you'll be able to catch how that dull powder becomes shiny. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to mute it because this thing's loud. Okay, and it's going to hurt your little eardrums if I leave that on. So I'm going to mute it, but you'll see me do all that heating as I go. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, so there we are. We've heated all that up, and now we've got a nice shiny image on there, but it still looks colourless. So that's where we bring in our blending brushes. So I've got one here for basically our light blue and our dark blue. Now, whilst I've brought in Night of Navy for the card, I thought the Night of Navy might be a little dark for what I wanted, so I'm actually going to use Pacific Point. Beautiful colour. Literally just tap the ink pad. Look how dark that is, and I literally just tapped it on once and rubbed it off. So we're just going to apply that into the centre. Okay, you can always add a bit more, but obviously if you add too much you can't really take it away. So sort of discretion really on exactly how dark you want to make that. You might want to just sort of intensify the very centre, but there we go. Okay, so I'm just putting a blob, if you like, on that centre portion there. I'm going to switch brushes to my light blue brush and bring in Balmy Blue, which coordinates with the, whoops a daisy, that's just gone across there. So this is the same colour as the card base, Balmy Blue, which is a much paler colour. Okay, so you can probably be a little more generous with the inking on here. Okay, and if we decide we need to intensify the centres, we can. So just round and round in circles. Around that edge, and the embossing powder just resists the water-based ink. Okay, so it won't stick over the top, which means the white cardstock that is underneath that heated powder is protected and remains white. Okay, so I think I am going to intensify those centres just a tad. Again, just going gentle. Don't want to add too much, just want to just bring out those centres just a little more. Okay, so like I say, you can add, you can't take away, alright? So just go easy until you've built up the colour that you want on your flowers. Okay, so that will do nicely, I think. And all we need to do is put it all together. You may want to just buff off in case any ink just sort of is sitting on top of that plastic, but I felt like that was already clean. But as just another tip, if you feel like it's gone dull, you may want to just wipe that over with a dry paper towel or a cloth or something. Okay, so the heating does make your cardstock go a bit wibbly wobbly, which is perfectly fine. It's just because the heat is taking out the natural moisture in that material. So I'm going to use a couple of extra strips of the adhesive, the Stampin' Seal here, to secure this to the layer. Lining up your 3 edges, and then the rest should do what it needs to. I'm going to turn that over to give it a press and grab my bone folder so that we don't damage any of that embossing inadvertently. You shouldn't do, but you don't want to take the risk, do you? Do you know what I mean? I think it goes that way up, doesn't it? Okay, and again we're going to put plenty of the tape on the back of here, just to make sure it sits nice and flat for us. And this is our balmy blue card base, so that all coordinates, it's all the same ink colours and stuff. Doesn't that look lovely already? And then we just need to stamp the sentiment. And I'm going to use the Pacific Point. I did think about bringing in Night of Navy. I've put my bone folder down, I can't see it, there it is. The Night of Navy, but I think we might just bring in the Pacific Point just because we can. Here's our little strip of cardstock. So, not introducing another ink pad, just using these two. So the strip's quite thin, so we just want to make sure we've got that nice and centred on there. So look over the top, try and make sure it's centred. The fact that it's a photopolymer stamp set makes that a whole load easier. And then we're just going to cut a banner end on there like we have on the sample, and we've got this lovely Picker Banners punch. And because we've cut it to 1/2 inch, that will fit beautifully in the slot in there. Let's put it into the right slot though. I want that in that banner, the fishtail, not the arrow. So I just realised I was floating that in front of me and you couldn't see what I was doing. So for some reason that's getting stuck. There we are. Right. Just catching on the inside because it was a little bit off centre. So you just push it into the back, into the punch, turn it over just to make sure it's all the way in, and then just punch off that banner end. Now that's still too long, so I just cut it again until I get it to the right. I've cut that so tightly, it just about fits into that slot. So I'm just going to push that all the way in again and just cut it again. Just make that a little bit shorter, like so. And that's just going on flat with my Stampin' Seal. And that's it, card is done. Really, really simple. Oh, I say it's done. Do you know what? I didn't do it on the original. Let's add some bling as well, just because we can. So I'm lining it up with the white, what was the white layer, overlapping these two images, which means that the white of this strip stands out against the blended background, and then we can just add some rhinestones. I think they would look fab on there. Just plain rhinestones. Could colour them if you wanted to, but I'm just going to go with it, do my usual little trio of gems here. Okay, the 3 sizes. Okay, should we do it on this one as well? Okay, so it works with all of these. Very nice, emphasises the sentiment for us. Okay, so I hope you've liked that. So there's loads of different colourways we could do. I really like the intensity of this one. I think it really pops from the page, whereas this one's a little bit more subtle. So again, depending on your particular preference, go with what you want, whether you want it a little bit paler or not. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Links in the description. Please do like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. It's lovely to spend time with you. Thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.